Hello Fantasy Faithfuls, and welcome to Kenny Galladay's Fantasy Snapshot for 2020.
Stafford, and the pass is caught by Galladay. Galladay is off in the end zone, touchdown.
In 2020, the Detroit Lions and Kenny Galladay will be facing a group of teams that last year gave up 550 points to wide receivers in PPR, 10th most in the NFL with 13.6 yards per reception and 15 touchdowns on average. Breaking down his receiving, Galladay got targeted perfectly for fantasy scoring in 2019. His more targets to the short left than right, more deep right than left. This is actually a total 180 from 2018. We had more short right and deep left, so they're using him better if we're only looking at it from a fantasy viewpoint. Without Matthew Stafford though, he took a big step back in almost all completion percentages. This is quite a big thing that shows you how important an accurate quarterback is. It should be said though, completion percent is not an end-all be-all for fantasy, but if you're under 60% in the short zones, that is a pretty big deal. He has higher yards per reception in all deep zones from previous years, so a big play ability has gone up significantly. Add a healthy Stafford for 16 games, and his short zone numbers should go back up to 18 numbers, and we have a top 5 fantasy receiver on our hands. His opponent that fits these trends the best is the Arizona Cardinals. They gave up 10.2 yards per catch, and opposing receivers had a catch rate of 79% in the short zones, so be sure to start him in DFS for that game. I would like to take a second to remind you to hit that like button, leave a comment what you think about this video, and subscribe to the channel. I love every interaction I have with y'all, and every little bit helps me put out even more content. Kenny Galladay's one-game floor is 5.8 points and ceiling 21.8 based on the last 3 years in PPR. He's yet to build crazy good numbers in these categories with inconsistency, and the likeliness of him scoring above the ceiling and booming is high at 3.1% due to his low ceiling, while his bust risk below the floor is a low 0.9%. His touchdown rate last year was 9.5%, the 12th highest in the league. Huge touchdown threat, but still not crazy high to warrant concerns for massive negative regression. Based on my market share study, I have him projected for 111 targets and for 80 receptions in 2020. Stafford still spreads the ball, so it won't crack that 120 target mark. Galladay had very high highs but very low lows, which is not uncommon for wide receivers, but shows again why his floor can stabilize. However, 9 usable games is on par with DeAndre Hopkins, and with a backup quarterback, a very impressive number. His situation breakdown shows that he scores way more points home than he does away, a trend that most of the Detroit Lions share. He scores less against teams that usually struggles against wide receivers, but not by a ton, and a few points less against teams with winning records. Again, a trend shared by the entire Lions team. Galladay saw 15 red zone targets in 2019, and with those targets, he scored 6 touchdowns, which is fantastic. Here we will see some success rate regression, but if we assume Stafford is back, the team should be in the red zone more, bumping up the targets, so where he can score 6 again without problem. The average risk of Kenny Galladay not scoring above 10 fantasy points last year was 38%, which places him in the second tier of risky wide receivers, a great number for a player to have going into 2020. Based on his current ADP of 27th overall and all the numbers I laid out in this video, I give him a draft grade of A. In conclusion, Stafford is back and I do love Galladay, but the price is just a bit too high to reach an A+ grade, with the floor and ceiling being as low as they are.
Concussion protocol earlier in the week, 1st and 10. Stafford deep, he's got him for a touchdown! Galladay!
Hello Fantasy Faithful, I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget to check out more of them right here and here. In case you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss a beat.